All right, hello guys. What I've done right now is I've set up what we call a nested loop. All right. So what a nested loop is, you're going to hear that term often, and what that means is it's a loop inside of a loop. We call the outer loop, coincidentally enough, the outer loop, and then we call the loop inside the inner loop. Now this whole loop right here would be what we call a nested loop, a nested for loop. So it's very important to understand what that terminology is. It's just basically something encapsulated inside something else. So what happens with a nested for loop is, right now in this case we have a print statement. This print statement is going to print hello first. Java is what we call top-down programming, which means it goes from top to bottom. So it's going to print this out before it gets to the loop. Now when it gets to the for loop, here's the understanding that you have to have. You can't just print by one time and then go back to the outer loop. The for loop, the conditional statement must become false before you can do that, which means you have to run this loop, in this case 3 times, before you can get back to the outer loop. There's nothing there, and then I can increment j to 1 and then continue going on. So if you look in my console, I've already run this, and you'll notice that I have hello, and then bye, 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 hello, bye, 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 etc., etc. And I have that a total of 5 times. Because the inner for loop is going to run basically this number times this number. Not always the case, but in simple ones like these, I have 15 buys. It works out pretty well mathematically. So the key thing to understand is, 1, that this loop will run until it is completely done. So this could be k is less than 10,000, and it's going to run 10,000 times before it prints before it gets back out here and then prints hello again and then runs again. 2 is, this is the tricky part. You have to understand that the inner for loop resets. The outer for loop does not reset. It stays. So you're going 1, 2, 3. But then when you come back in, k is automatically gone back to 0. And the reason why is because what's happening is you have to imagine it that every time in the outer for loop, when this is true, you're running this fresh new set of instructions again. So again, the inner for loop will always reset. It'll always go back to 0. And then but the outer loop does not. It will just continue working until this conditional statement is false. So again, those are inner for loops. All right, I hope that helped.